Welcome, everyone, to the Aging and Spirituality podcast, where we talk about unrealized potential that you really could discover today if you want to. It's going to make a real difference in your life. I'm Kathy Lee Taylor,
And I'm Chris Jensen.
and we're going to talk about something really exciting today. It's about flow state, something that I have been playing with a lot lately because when you're in a flow state, you can really smash your goals in life easily. If you're in divine flow, it's kind of like a secret life hack to being able to get whatever you want. So let me start by saying that the concept of flow is generally misunderstood. If you want a more powerful answer to what is a flow state, I suggest that you ask a different question. And the question would be, what is consciousness and how do we deploy it? Here are some of the characteristics of what a flow state is. First of all, you become deeply absorbed in an activity. Most people think activity means being active in life, but being in flow can also happen when you're completely still, silent. Flow within life's activity is a challenge for most people. Once you understand the spiritual energy flow, life can be like a walking meditation. You get completely centered in spirit and actively move out into the world while you're maintaining your flow state. A
I'm all
flow
for
state
that.
characterizes, yeah, we're all for that. A flow state actually characterizes an intense level of focus and concentration, which is something that you learn from meditation. It's something we teach in meditation. A practitioner can maintain focus and concentration. You can get a flow state going on. And that's when just can't penetrate your state of awareness at that point. So does that give you an idea of what a flow state is? So what we want to change if you're doing an activity, but you don't sense that you're in a flow state. Okay. This is what you want to do. You want to make a change. Okay. So you want to change, first of all, the first step would be change how you feel. Check to see your feelings and then take the feeling up a notch.
Mhm.
So, for example, move away from I feel good into I feel great. I feel happy moves into I feel blissful. Can you see how that would up level your energy?
Yeah.
And it's easier, that puts it, makes it easier for you to get into a state of flow. So ask yourself, what am I doing when I'm experiencing the most natural kind of happiness? Because everybody has their own unique places where they feel naturally happy. Those are good things for you to know because you can use them as reference points. For some people, it's like creative endeavors. For some people, it's playing sports, playing games, or just playing. Oftentimes that's some of your happiest moments in life because they come very natural and you're in a natural flow state at that point. So grab that feeling of happiness, get it as a reference point, and allow your heart to expand. I feel happy. Let your heart expand a little bit more. See how it just kind of opens up when you say those words? You think about it, you let it expand out even a little more. You're inviting that state of happiness to grow. So don't make it complicated. Stay simple. Just allow yourself to feel happy right here, right now. Here's a great exercise. If you're not, as you're listening to me and you're not feeling it, do this right now. All you have to do is take a breath in and think right, breathe out and think here, right here, as you breathe in and as you breathe out. This will bring you sweetly directly into presence. Allow your heart to expand from there. That's a great way to prompt getting into that flow state.
Oh, that was nice. I'm still doing it.
Yeah, you can take, and it's so I do it during the day, like all the time now. If I find myself in a funky place, something's going on, I'll just go right here. And it just grounds you right
Mhm.
into a,
Yeah, it
really
does.
sweet place, a nice flow place.
Nice.
So, so what you want to do to also get into a flow state is you want to be experiencing harmony. This is the whole point of practicing yoga. You want to have balance, body, mind, and spirit, so you can create a harmony in which you live your life. This is a state of flow. This is, what yogis are talking about when they're talking about harmony. So let's see. The point I wanted to make at this juncture was when you're in the world and you're trying to listen to people that are telling you how to succeed, you want to make money, you want to have status, you want to have power, all of those things,
Mm.
you're focusing on the outcomes. And what it does is it takes you away from the harmony. And then you get frustrated, you can't figure out, why am I not getting? Why am I not getting what I want? Best advice we can give you is get back in the flow. It'll take you where you need to go. So it's harder when you're really stressed. It doesn't mean you're not making effort. It doesn't mean you're not working towards your goals. You are. But when you're in flow, it's going to come easier, faster, and be what you want it to be. A lot less struggle and frustration along the way. You're not going to be wasting your energy and time doing process of elimination and trying to figure out what it is. So yes, we waste an enormous amount of time, doing things like thinking, oh, well, I'm not worthy of it. It's not happening for me. Well, a bunch of crap. Of course you're worthy. Of course you can have what you want. You have to work for it. But getting in flow is going to be like a cheat code for life. It's going to make it a lot easier for you. So there you go. So I wanted to say a little bit about what is consciousness, because whoever answers that question, do you ever think about that? What is consciousness? I'm going to explain it like this. It's your perception of the world and how you respond to everything in it. So part of your consciousness is your ego, which is mostly interested in your survival. There's a lot of talk about ego now, so a lot of people think they know what it means. It plays out differently in people's lives. But there's also a part of your consciousness that yoga is called the witness. And that witness is a part of you that doesn't name, doesn't judge, just observes what's happening to you. This is an objective, perfect place to start experiencing flow. Try getting into witness consciousness daily. And if you don't know what we're talking about, Chris taught us how to do this, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago. Go back to the YouTube videos and find it. It's worth putting that one on save and watching it and practicing it every day. That's one of the most powerful things that she's ever taught on here, is how to get into witness consciousness. It's really, really powerful. So consciousness is something that can come under your control. So for example, when you're dreaming, you're not conscious, you're unconscious, right?
Mhm.
But when you're conscious, you're using your senses, the things you can see, feel, touch, think. And all of this is information that you can manipulate with your awareness, that you can use to get what you want in life when you're in a flow state. I mean, really, we have the power to control our subjective reality, especially as yogis. We start to understand how it works. And isn't that what people really call freedom? That's the freedom that people are seeking
Yeah.
often. You want to be able to, get what they want, do what they want with their lives, follow their goals and their dreams, but their inner callings up. That's what it's all about. So you have to master that. You have to master your consciousness. Okay, so controlling your focus is the way to do that. And there's an easy way to find out if you're able to control the focus of your mind.
Mm.
Stop for a second right now and ask yourself, what have I been thinking about since the moment I got up? Let's see, what am I going to eat today? what drama's going on in my life? What work do I have to do today? Well, what's the struggle? Who's saying what about who? All of that stuff. All of that stuff is getting in your way of being in flow. You have to do that daily check-in with your mind. If you don't do it in the midday, do it at night before you're going to bed. Take a look and think, where was the majority of my thoughts going during the day? Were they in flow? Were they connected to spirit? Were they doing what I wanted to do, feeling good? All of those things. That's a great way to know where your focus is going. And, so the key to doing that process is that you want to change the ones that aren't working. Let go of the distractions. Let go of the barf, the struggle, the things that, are just taking up time but aren't taking you where you want to go. Learn to let go of them. Okay, so now one of the other things I wanted to say about flow, and we're almost at the end here, is that flow really, when you don't have flow, it kills the creativity because you're cutting off the source. You're cutting off your
Yeah.
source of creativity, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's so easy because we're all always trying to multitask and do this and that, and it cuts us off from that flow.
It does. It does. Being overproductive and
Yeah.
overthinking, analyzing, all of those things cuts us off from flow. So when you're feeling frustrated creatively, you're disconnected. You're disconnected from spirit. And the first thing you want to do is get back in connection with your inner self. Your energy, your attention is really your energy. When you focus on what you love or you feel your purpose, energy flows naturally. It's that simple. But without that focus, getting clear of purpose on your purpose and being happy becomes more difficult. So remember that. Flow typically means you are centered in your true self and your ego is taking a break. Doesn't that sound nice? Like
Yeah.
get your ego
Yes, it does.
take a break. I mean, the evil's not the ego is not the evil villain, but it's really nice when it's not being such a pain in the ass distraction all the time. Okay, so we really know and experience every day that the real world is going to give us struggles and challenges. This is, be things that will help you up level your game in a lot of ways. You won't have to spend a lot of time wasting it on stuff that means nothing and does not get you where you want to go. Okay, so one other thing about flow. When you're in flow, you lose all sense of time. This is a really good indicator if you are in divine flow, right? You're having so much fun, your heart's full of love, you just lose that sense of time. So when does that happen for you just naturally, When does time just kind of like fall away for you? I remember when my son was younger, I always felt like I was in flow because kids know how to play naturally, right? Chris knows that now. She's got a grandson that just knows how to play, and
Mm.
it's just natural for them, And it is just life is just a divine flow all day long, chasing a little 2-year-old, like
It is. I'm learning to play.
it is exactly. You're learning to play all over again.
Yeah.
So time doesn't exist, like when you are in this flow, you're not thinking about time in any way. I mean, that happens when you meditate. When I meditate deeply, I'm in divine flow. Those are some of the sweetest moments in life I've ever experienced. I mean, I can't speak highly enough about that. Everybody should have that experience. So, okay. So I think I've covered this in terms of how to get into flow, why you would want to get into flow. So, like the next time you're experiencing a frustration about, I want to be on the tennis court and
Yeah.
I can't get there. So just sit and imagine yourself on the tennis court. I mean, there's a million things that you can do. I want to travel to Indonesia, but I don't have the money. We'll go watch some videos on Indonesia online until you can figure out how to make it happen. You want to start a business, go about people who have done it, inspire yourself, empower yourself, stay in the flow and keep moving towards those things you feel are your inner calling that are natural for you to do. They're part of your flow. Nothing is impossible when you connect with those inner flow states. And never give up. Never, 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 never. That's going to be on my gravestone. Never give up. So just remember, any situation can be turned into a flow state right here. I promise you, it's worth pursuing. Thank you for coming. Thank you for
Thank
listening. We'll see you
you.
again next week. Bye.
Bye.